Once again, we're here live at the Taste-of-Buckhead event, the Buckhead-Business-Association's annual event. Talking to folks, exhibitors, vendors, great food, unbelievable beverages. I've had a few myself. And we're speaking now with the publisher of Simply Buckhead magazine, Joanne-Hayes. Joanne, how is everything this evening?
Absolutely fantastic. It's a great event, great turnout, lots of fantastic food from our wonderful Buckhead restaurants.
I mean, you really can't go wrong at an event like this. This is the signature, one of the signature events for the Buckhead Business Association, right?
Yes, and restaurants from all different kind of arenas of food here. You know, we've got French food, we've got barbecue, we've got some Oriental food, we've got Jiraku sushi. I mean, it's been a really nice mix of folks, even a raw bar. So.
And what's crazy is I've been, as a roving reporter all night this evening, covering the event, and it's amazing how many restaurants I've come across that have been in the studio and you've interviewed, and many of them have been advertisers in
Yes.
Simply Buckhead.
Yes, and there's a lot of folks that we've met this evening who are kind of rounding the bend and really feel like it's time to get on board with us too. So it's been a nice night to meet some of the owners that are here on hand and serving their own food and explaining about what they do. It's been very helpful.
Big time. There's nothing like a handshake and get to sample their offerings and so forth. And talk about the Buckhead Atlanta. There's a lot of those folks out here, and you were early on in promoting that event or that opening, right?
Yes, and actually a lot of those restaurants are our clients as well, and they saw the value in being a part of this event. I actually helped bring some of them in, so it definitely was important for them to be here. They're right across the street, and you know, the saying goes that in Buckhead people dine out 3 to 4 nights a week, and most of the time it's within their own backyard, so this is where they're going to go.
Well, and for the new venue that is Buckhead Atlanta, with all of the high-end restaurants, the shopping, the boutiques and so forth, so many of those, it's really their first year or year and a half in business, so this is their first kind of like meeting folks in this type of business environment.
Yes, this is a lot of them, their first exposure, and you know, those first 2 years are always the hardest, and you have to generate your own loyalty base, and by doing events like this, it puts them first and forefront in, you know, the Buckhead market.
And I know there's some history with our studio in Buckhead and with Simply Buckhead. I know we've had a few conversations about the efforts with business, and their first few years was a struggle, but now how many years are you? You're over 5 years now, right?
We are 5 years right now, and it has been a fantastic year for us, our best ever. We were over the hump a couple of years ago, but I think this year was a true breakout year for us. We've had a phenomenal year.
And I just had a flashback now to, I was invited to your 5th year anniversary party. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, that was fabulous. Back in February, we hosted, we had 8 restaurants and 4 beverage vendors, not unlike this, but on a little smaller scale, along with some fabulous vehicles, Maseratis, Porsches, and Audis inside the Jetlynx hangar at PDK, and it was a pretty phenomenal party.
And the entertainment was top notch.
Oh yes, we had Collective Soul. We were, Sweet Tea Project, Ed Roland and Sweet Tea Project, and we had a private concert from them, and it was great timing because they just put out their new album. So. And
speaking of putting out new news and information, your current publication On the Stand. Tell us a little bit about that, and then upcoming what's around the corner for Simply Buckhead.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they come fast and furious in the fall because we're back-to-back 3 issues in a row. So the current one is a Heroes issue, and we've got the Atlanta Fire Department, Station 21. It's a pretty awesome cover, shot by Sarah Hanna, and our upcoming issue is an outdoors issue.
Oh, really?
And, you know, people don't realize, and I had a conversation with someone tonight, Atlanta has about 48% trees, and it's one of the top 10 green cities in the country, and there's so much to do here. You don't have to go to the mountains. Yeah, it's great. We're only an hour away, but right here in our backyard, you can, you know, go paddleboarding on the Chattahoochee, kayaking, Chastain, and speaking of Chastain, we shot part of it at Chastain, so yes, you're right on the mark.
But yeah, it's just, so now outdoors in the fall though, I mean, is that by happenstance, or is that, I mean, there's a lot of activities, but is weather an issue, right?
Weather is fabulous. I mean, there's nothing that we don't do that is not by design and very much on purpose. So we chose this particular time of year for this issue because of the wealth of things to do in our market, and literally right in your backyard.
Nice. All right, so great talking to you, catching up, and all the latest news on Simply Buckhead. So tell folks a little bit about how they would find the publication online, offline, and distribution.
Sure. We publish 24,000 copies 8 times a year. We distribute in 254 locations in the Buckhead market. Might be slightly over that now. There's a lot of shifts sometimes, but we're also available at the International Terminal Information Desk, 6 of the private jet hangars at PDK. A complete list of all of our distribution locations is on our website at simply-buckhead.com, and we publish 8 times a year.
Nice. And one of those distribution points is the Pro Business Channel studio. So if you're in Buckhead, swing on by, pick up a copy. But Joanne, pleasure having you here. Phenomenal event once again for the Simply Buckhead event and your publication, and for the Taste of Buckhead. We'll see you next year, but this is a phenomenal event this year. On behalf of Pro Business Channel, Rich Casanova signing off.